Donald Trump is preparing for a total collapse of the Chinese economy. The war against Iran has nothing to do with Iran. This is a war against China. Over the last 40 years, China has built the world's second largest economy. And the trajectory is very clear, that China will overtake the United States and will become the world's largest economy and will replace the dollar as the global reserve currency. And over the last 5 to 10 years, China has been building the petro-yuan, which will directly challenge the petrodollar. So when you see the news that the United States and Iran are about to sign a peace deal, you have to understand that is absolutely nonsense, because the only way there is going to be peace in the Middle East is when there is going to be a clear winner. Either it is going to be the United States of America or China. Now, to understand this war and to understand how the United States is about to crush the Chinese economy, you have to understand the United States' strategic goal, why the United States needs the Middle East in the first place. If you zoom out and look at the world, you will see that the world is constantly creating wealth. What is wealth at the end of the day? A wealth is when people put time and effort and they create something that is meaningful, something that adds value to the society, something that adds value to the rest of the world. But here's the problem when you create value. How do you store that value? Historically, humanity has always stored that value in form of gold. So you take that and you get paid in gold. That gold is going to preserve the value of your effort. That gold is going to preserve the value of the wealth that you created. And that has been the case for over 5,000 years. However, the United States of America wants that every single wealth that is created in the world should be stored in the US dollars. When that happens, suddenly the United States has full control over the rest of the world. The United States knows about all the wealth in the world, but most importantly, the United States controls it. If you don't listen to Uncle Sam, the United States will sanction you, kick you out of the financial system. That's why the US dollar is literally the backbone of the US economy. But most importantly, you can loan that money to the US government. Since you're keeping your wealth in the US dollar anyways, it is very easy to loan it to the US government and receive interest. I mean, you have actually worked hard to create that wealth in the first place. And what the US government is going to do, it will take that money and will invest it back into the United States. That investment could be in form of building better roads, better hospitals, better schools, but it also could be in investing in the military-industrial complex by ordering more weapons. And that's how the United States maintains the world's most powerful military in human history. And because that happens, the US economy grows faster than ever. If you look at the United States is geographically smaller than Canada or Russia. The United States has far less people than China or India. And yet the US economy still grows way faster than any of these economies. Because as long as the global economy keeps expanding, the US economy will keep expanding, because the US economy or the global economy keeps using the dollar. So when the global economy expands and creates more wealth, that wealth is being stored in the US dollars, and so on and so forth. And this turns into this never-ending loop that keeps the United States at the top, which is why the US strategic goal is to have the dollar as the global reserve currency. And OPEC, which is an organization of petroleum exporting countries, is the key to the United States dollar to have the dominance. What is the most important resource in the world, or the most important commodity? It is oil. Without oil, you don't have factories. Without oil, your planes are not going to fly. And without oil, you can't actually build a modern economy. So when you look at the last 50 years and the rise of China from being one of the poorest countries in the world to the second world's largest economy, it has been because of oil. China is known to be the global factory of the world, but becoming a factory means that you are consuming more oil than any other country. So if you want to have the global reserve currency, all you have to do is to ensure that the most important commodity in the world is being sold in the US dollar. But it's very difficult to control that because you have so many countries across the globe that have oil. The US has oil, Canada, Venezuela, Middle Eastern countries, Russia. I mean, and there is a long list of countries. But if you can actually create an organization that combines within itself the largest oil exporters in the world, and they exclusively sell oil in US dollars, that's how you actually control the global economy. And that's why, even though that OPEC is actually illegal because it's cartel, literally 12 countries got together and created a system to control the oil prices. So if there is, for example, if oil prices are going down, these countries will come together and will create artificial shortage of oil in the market. Oil prices are going to rise. So these nations will make a lot of money. But if that was not the case, each of these countries individually will dump a lot of oil into the market and oil prices will chunk. You might think that's a good thing for the United States. That's why under the US law, cartels are illegal. But in this case, because this cartel specifically sells the oil in US dollar, the United States helped to create that cartel to begin with because it was serving the US interests. But here's the problem. OPEC, which has been serving the US interests, has a very different plan right now and has been for a while right now. China is now the largest customer of OPEC. For a long time, the United States of America has been the largest customer of OPEC. But over the last 20 years, the United States began increasing its production of oil. And now the United States is the world's largest producer of oil, and it doesn't actually need that oil from Middle East. So who is the largest client of the OPEC countries? Exactly, it is China. Secondly, the United States now is a competitor. On one side, you have these OPEC countries that produce 40% of the global oil. On the other side, you have the United States, Canada, and now Venezuela that is under the control of the United States. And then you have some of the European countries that have some oil, which means that these countries are now a direct threat to the OPEC countries. Now, another major problem is that OPEC countries are selling their oil in US dollars, and because the size of the US debt has been growing way faster than any other debt in the history of humanity, these countries are like, why would we keep so much US dollars when we're supposed to diversify our portfolio and start selling our oil in other countries? Maybe the Chinese yuan, maybe the euro, or maybe any other currency. Another major problem is that China is offering them a much better deal. There are certain technologies that the United States of America does not want to sell to Middle Eastern countries. But China is like, we will sell you everything you need as long as you keep selling us oil. And that's why if you look since 2017, OPEC members has been actually moving away from the dollar. In 2017, Russia started selling its oil in petro-yuan. In 2018, Venezuela started selling their oil in yuan. In 2021, the UAE, which is the closest ally of the United States, started selling their oil in Indian rupees. Then in 2022, Saudi Arabia. By 2023, multiple OPEC members actually started selling their oil exclusively in non-US dollars. And since in 2024, the petrodollar agreement has ended, it means that OPEC countries formally can start creating petro-yuan. The entire infrastructure around it was ready. So the United States realized that now OPEC countries will no longer be serving the interest of the United States, but rather China will be using the exact same infrastructure to create petro-yuan. And if yuan will replace the dollar, then suddenly all of that wealth will be moving to China instead of the United States. And since China has a much larger population, it's a matter of time before China will overtake the United States as the world's largest economy, which is why now it is the goal of the United States to break OPEC and put an end to it. Under the old system, currencies will be floating, and that means that if you want to protect your currency, you needed to have a lot of US dollars. Imagine you have an oil country in Middle East, such as Saudi Arabia. The Saudi Arabian currency is pegged to the US dollar, and if you want to peg it, then you have to keep a lot of US dollars. The moment your currency becomes weak, you will use these dollars in order to buy a lot of your currency artificially, boosting it and making it much stronger, and vice versa. When your currency becomes too stronger, you will increase the supply of your currency in the market. And that's how you're going to peg your currency against the US dollar. And that's meant that OPEC countries had to keep a lot of US dollars in reserves, which means that you have to continue selling your oil in US dollars exclusively to have that much oil. Now, since that system is breaking and we want to break OPEC entirely because we don't want China to use it, we are creating an alternative system for these countries, and it's called Federal Reserve Currency Swap Line. And that means that the United States will directly link all of these central banks in all of these countries to the Federal Reserve, and they will be able to directly exchange their currencies to the US dollars. So if these countries have a shortage of US dollars, they can print their own money, instantly converted into the US dollars through the Federal Reserve System, and vice versa. And that means that suddenly the currencies in these countries will basically become an extension of the US dollar. Yes, it is called the Saudi Arabian currency or the UAE currency or the Qatari currency or whatever the currency is, that it will be an extension of the US dollar because they will have a direct access to the Federal Reserve. In other words, the United States will have a direct full control over their central banks, which means that the US will have full control over their economies. But here's the question: why would any of these countries sign such a deal with the United States? They will be giving their entire independence to the United States. That is why we need the Iran war. Now, there is a war in Iran, and all of these countries in the Middle East, they're no longer selling their oil because there is a blockade and the Strait of Hormuz is closed. So if you're not selling your oil, if you're Saudi Arabia or UAE, that means that dollars are not coming back to these countries, which means that if they don't have enough dollars, they cannot create an artificial demand for their currency. Suddenly, if their currencies are going to collapse, their entire economies are going to collapse. Remember, the currency of any nation is the backbone of that economy. So when the currency in Venezuela collapsed, the entire economy in Venezuela collapsed. And the same thing will happen to any country where the currency is going to collapse. But if they're going to sign this deal with the United States, suddenly they don't have to worry. Even if this war is going to last for a year or two and they won't be selling that much oil to the international market, they can continue borrowing as much dollars as they want from the Federal Reserve, because the central banks in these countries will basically create their own money and instantly swap it with US dollars in the Federal Reserve as much as they need. That will bring the confidence of investors into these economies, and investors will continue investing in these nations. But the problem is that they will become so dependent on the United States that if they leave this system, investors will instantly lose confidence in these economies and will start dumping all of their assets, which will crush their entire economies. And that means that if they sign this deal and they want to actually start selling their oil in yuan, that will not be possible, because if your central bank is being directly controlled by the Federal Reserve, the United States has a lot of leverage over you, which means that you no longer can start signing this deal with China. Even if China is your largest client, you will be forced to sell your oil exclusively in the US dollar. So the goal is very simple. We have to break OPEC countries, force each of these countries to leave OPEC and sign such a deal with the United States. So the United Arab Emirates was the first country to leave OPEC, and right now they're discussing with the United States to sign such a deal. The second country might be Saudi Arabia, then Qatar and Kuwait. And if you actually offer such a deal to a few important members of OPEC countries, even if the war in Iran is going to end, these countries will have no other option but to continue selling their oil exclusively in the US dollars, which means that petrodollar is going to stay, at least for a few more decades. But here's a more important question. Who is going to pay the price for the war? The war in Iran is leading to much higher gas prices, slower economic growth, and the cost of living generally is rising. So if you are in the middle class, you're most likely struggling since you're paying a lot more for gas, because gas prices impact the price of everything. Since we live in this globalized economy, prices in the groceries have increased. So in general, every single person who is in the middle class is being squeezed, and they got a lot poorer. And the people who were poor are probably right now in the streets. And the longer this war is going to continue, the more the average person is going to suffer. But on the other side, I want you to look at the S&P 500. It has been growing faster than ever. Yes, there has been a dip when the war in Iran has started, but the S&P 500 entirely recovered, and it seems like it is going to grow faster than ever because investors are realizing that there is so much wealth in the world, there isn't a single place where they can keep investing that money. And the US stock market is the only place where you can invest that much wealth. On the other side, the US government is printing more money than ever. And that means that if you're not an investor in this economy, the only thing that is happening for you is that prices are rising, which means that your purchasing power is going down. But if you're an investor in this economy, then even if you do absolutely nothing, you will simply get wealthier as long as the war is going to continue. So if you did not start investing, this is the time to start investing before it's too late. And if you want an individualized investing strategy for you, then you can jump on a call with my team that will help you to come up with a strategy that will help you to become financially independent and massively profit from this war. And the first 100 people who are going to use the link in the description of this video will get a 101 investing strategy call with my team completely for free. The link is in the description of this video.